Take a couple more just relaxing, calm breaths. And then as you wish, come back into this space, opening your eyes. Feel free to move your body if you want to. If there's like a tension, for me, there's a tension in the back of the neck. So I'm going to move that energy around. Anybody want to share anything they felt during that? Not mandatory at all. It's only if you want to.
That was awesome. That was so amazing. You have a talent for the guided meditations, I gotta say, because the last one you did on the last call was like really incredible too. But for me, it was just when you said go back to like what are you feeling now, I started feeling it in my chest, and that's like extremely rare for me. Like I'm always very much in my like a lot of tension in my my neck and my head or like my stomach. So to feel that like open, like kind of flowing energy in the middle of my body is like rare. So thank you. That was incredible.
Wow. You're welcome. And did it stay there or did it move? Is that where it was in the beginning?
It was like in my stomach a little bit. Like I just was kind of, ungrounded, uncentered, probably from the work day and everything. And so kind of going through the process, it made me feel it's kind of just open, kind of, radiating energy. It was awesome.
Nice. That's something I learned about 10 years ago or more. And it's something that I use, and I invite you to use it whenever you want. So for example, I was going through a time when I had trouble sleeping, either falling asleep or waking in the middle of the night and going back to sleep. And I would remember the teacher that told me that. She said, "Where's your energy?" And the first time she asked the group where their energy was, like everyone, of course, had a different place where they felt their energy. And for me, I felt it wasn't even in my body. My energy was in front of my body, like in between my face and my chest. And then she looked at me and she nodded and she said, "Yeah, your energy is way out there. Look at your posture." And as I looked at myself, I wasn't even sitting back in the chair relaxed. I was like so far forward, like wanting to be heard, wanting to make my point heard, and it was like me putting my energy out in front of the group, wanting so much for them to hear it and get it. And that was so helpful. So when I was having trouble sleeping, and this goes for anything, I would just immediately remember that. And I would just say it to myself with my eyes closed. I was like, "Where's your energy?" Take another breath. Where's your energy? And immediately it would just start calming me down. So if you're panicking, if you're worried about something, if you're stressful, if you're getting ready to speak, if you're driving and there's traffic, whenever, just, keep using that. It works. I love it. Anybody else have any? You don't have to, just don't want to cut anyone off.
Yes. I had a coughing spasm as soon as you started.
Oh.
And it's like I have cough drops on here at my desk. I popped one in and I continued to cough and cough and cough and cough. And then through the meditation, it just calmed. And so that was really nice. And that's what I asked for, is that I want to heal my cough.
Mm-hmm.
I want that more than anything right now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Connie?
And yeah, what I really loved was I could definitely feel the energy, but I love the question, what is possible about this that I'm not seeing? Did I get that right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That really just felt really just like expansive when I was kind of feeling that shift in the energy. So
good. Perfect. Yeah. You can substitute the word seeing with getting or perceiving or understanding. whatever word you want, with the whole point being, what is really possible that my brain, which goes around and around and around in the same patterns of computing what's possible, is not perceiving as possible because it's going in the same circuit over and over and over and over again. And we live in a quantum reality where anything's possible, but we don't create it because we have this mind that we haven't had to learn to master yet, that keeps us in this rut instead of expanding out into the quantum possibilities. Like, if I didn't, let's see, another way to say that is, what's possible now that I'm not getting, that if I did get it, would completely change my reality right now with ease? Like, you can even say it right like that, but it's all about rephrasing the way we say things into questions instead of statements, because we're so used to jumping to the answer and making a statement and telling people what we think and telling people what to do and telling ourselves what we have to do and how we have to feel. We don't ask questions. And it's not just about asking the question, it's about staying in the energy of the question. So, and this isn't what I was going to talk about at all today, so I'm just going with it. For example, if I said, what color do you think the sky is going to be tomorrow? 100% of the population would jump in and go, what's going to be blue, or maybe gray, or maybe white, or maybe, if it's sunny, it'll be orange, But what if we had the opportunity to have a different color sky than we've ever had, but we keep squelching that possibility because we keep telling it, this is going to be what color you are, because this is the answer that I've always known. This is what I've always been told. So I'm going to stay in this safe space of knowing the answers all the time, because I'm taught that I should always know an answer. I'm taught that I'm dumb or stupid or weird if I don't have an answer. So we all jump to the answer all the time. We all jump to wanting to know the information instead of staying in the question. It's a totally different way of living. So, yeah.
And do you,
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, and do you find that speaking it out, I know for me, a lot of times that's how I get out of my head, is I actually, like, if it's a question, or maybe I'm saying a statement, but it's kind of the Byron Katie work where it's kind of like, is this true? Like, and sometimes it's just because if I actually speak it out and I hear it, it's different than if I just keep letting it cycle and cycle and cycle in my brain.
For sure. For sure. I agree. What do you guys think? Do you feel it more effective when you talk out loud things?
Yeah, I think so too. I would definitely agree with that. And I think you feel it too, right? Because it's like reverberate, like in your vocal cords and everything. So it's like more physiological, or hitting different parts of your physiology than just in your brain, where it's like sometimes you kind of fall asleep at the wheel, you're passive and just ruminating. I do that a lot. I just overthink and ruminate a lot. It's like, if I talk things out, I feel it's like, okay, it's real. I believe it now, because
Yeah. And I think also we're receivers. Our bodies, our ears, our minds are receivers. So if we say something, we're not only saying it, we're hearing it, we're receiving it. So it's going back in rather than, and plus when something's in your head, there's a million other things in your head sometimes. So they're all cycling around together, getting all mishmashed. You don't really have control over which one you're concentrating on, because there are 10 more that are going, no, I want to be heard. I want to be heard. I'm true. Don't listen to that one.
Yeah.
The monkey mind.
Yeah. The drunk monkeys. Totally.
Yeah. So I really want to kind of go from that question at the beginning of that tune in and put it out there on the table for us, all of us. Because this is the group, if we've only got this group, this is the group. If we've got other groups, we can ask other groups too. But this is the group where no question is too dumb. No request is too silly. no idea is, is old or foolish. And sometimes, all the time, I just corrected myself, most times we have been trained out of asking for what we want because we don't even know what we really want, because we haven't taken the time to know who we are, because we've been taught from the time we're young that that's not important. Other people are important. So I find that, I'm a life coach, and I find that a lot. I used to think, why aren't people, saying what they want? And I realize it's because a lot of times they really don't know what they want. And I am kind of unusual, although some of you might be the same, some others. From the time I was young, I would always write, like doodle in my journal, this is what I want. And I started doing it again about 15 years ago, just all the time. I'd go through notebook after notebook, like, this is what I want that to look like. This is what I have. This is what I don't want. This is what I'm good at, tons of self-inventory. So it's not hard for me, but if there's one thing that that you want or need, even if you don't think this group can help you supply it or direct it or refer you, I want you to feel comfortable enough to ask it. And if you want this to be anonymous to this group, just state that at the beginning of your request. If you don't care, then, we might know someone who, whatever, does what you need or has what you want. Anyone? Could be business, personal, health, relationship.
I'll go first. So let me explain. This is hard for me to like articulate sometimes, but like if you picture a scale, there's my day job, right? I work a corporate job and it's very demanding. It's like 55 hours a week on average. And a lot of my energy and everything is going into that. And I'm thankful for it. It's paying the bills, it's keeping a roof over my head and everything. But then there's everything else I want to do. And I'm squeezing that in between. And that's my writing, and I'm learning to code. I'm doing more creative, like self-directed activities. And I just want to tip that scale, right? Where the things that I'm doing on the right side, like the creative stuff, becomes my life eventually. And that's why I've wrestled with that for a while now, because obviously I got to be committed to my job, but I don't want to be irresponsible and slack on my duties. But then it's taking away from the time and energy that I'm putting into the things that could transform my life potentially into something that I want even more. So I'm just throwing that out there to you guys. And I know that's kind of a generality kind of line of thinking, but yeah, just figured I'd share that.
Anyone want to put in thoughts?
Yeah, I have a comment.